One of you is you don't cling to unsatisfactory ways of life. Because the people who do don't come to Mastermind events looking to improve and looking to get better. These are the people who go to happy hour or stay at home and hope things get better. But what they haven't realized is hope is not a strategy. I often joke and say that people that don't see value in themselves, people that don't take time to invest in themselves, are the same ones that think the Stone Age ended because we ran out of stones. That wasn't the case. The Stone Age ended because people continued to grow, learn, evolve, and synergize and work together. Several people brought to our attention at our last event that they didn't know who Napoleon Hill was. And after shaking my head in dismay, I thought this could be an opportunity to maybe share some information about Napoleon Hill that you may not know. Napoleon Hill authored more than 30 personal development books. And his best-selling book, one of the best-selling books of all time, was Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 of the wealthiest people on the planet. And he was able to get this opportunity because his mentor, Andrew Carnegie, connected him with these people. What he was trying to do was uncover the common denominators that people had for their success principles, the habits that they were using. And what people don't know about Napoleon Hill, most people that I believe, he has a book called Outwitting the Devil. And in that book he talks about not only did he interview 500 successful people, but he also interviewed thousands of unsuccessful people. Because he thought it was important to understand not only what causes success, but what causes failure as well. So, a little more information about Napoleon Hill is, he devoted his entire life to uncovering the detriments of success and failure. Again, because success leaves clues. And if we can emulate other people's success strategies, then we might be able to succeed like they will. I want to introduce you to a 3-minute video right now with the father of the Mastermind, so we can talk to you about this concept that can literally change your life. Ladies and gentlemen, Napoleon Hill.
We come now to the second of the 17 principles, which lead to the master key with which you may open the door to the attainment of your definite major purpose in life. This principle of success is called the Mastermind principle. I want you to understand the nature of the Mastermind principle because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the Mastermind is this. It consists of 2 or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, here are some interesting facts about the Mastermind which give you an idea of how important it is and how necessary that you embrace this principle and make use of it in attaining success in your chosen occupation. First of all, it is the principle through which you may borrow and use the education, the experience, the influence, and perhaps the capital of other people in carrying out your own plans in life. It is the principle through which you can accomplish in 1 year more than you could accomplish without it in a lifetime if you depended entirely on your own efforts for success. And I have heard well-informed Bible students say that the first known application of the Mastermind was that which existed between the Nazarene and his 12 disciples. Of one fact I am absolutely sure. When you form a true Mastermind alliance with others and work with them in a spirit of perfect harmony, you can draw freely upon the spiritual forces within you in carrying out your plans and desires. I also know that the Mastermind principle can give you absolute protection against failure, provided always that your purpose in using this principle is beneficial to all whom you influence. In my research while organizing the science of success, I have the collaboration of practically every outstanding successful man this country has produced during the past 50 years. And I can tell you definitely that their due in the main to their knowledge and application of the Mastermind principle. I wish also to call your attention to the fact that our great American way of life and our unmatchable system of free enterprise have been built upon the Mastermind principle. The greatest document ever conceived by the mind of man is a perfect example of the Mastermind principle in action. It is the Declaration of Independence and the best evidence of the importance of maintaining perfect harmony in a Mastermind alliance may be found in the fact that the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence knew full well that it might turn out to be either a license of freedom for all mankind or a death warrant which would cause each of the signers to be hanged. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Everything, including your personal success, has a price that must be paid.
After this event today, we don't have a lot of books, but for those of you who don't know who Napoleon Hill is, or haven't read his game-changing book, we'll have the books available for $10. And I highly recommend that you purchase one. Because if Napoleon Hill were around today, I think he'd write another book. And he titled this one, Act and Grow Rich. Because I believe the people who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action. And each one of you have the ability to take action in here. So I hope that you'll pick up one of these books for $10 after our event. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jeremy. And let's go ahead and pull the card.
The cupcakes just got here. I don't know who saw that, but thankfully,
I think we all saw it.
we're going to have the owner, Erin Eaton, come up and tell us about her delicious homemade.
Yes, Erin.
Erin, you got to come up, please. They're fat-free, they're healthy.
I smelled the cupcakes as soon as they walked in the building.
Well, I didn't plan a speech, so thank you for allowing me to participate in tonight's event. Life's too short, let's start with dessert. So I participated in the first San Antonio Masterminds event. It's considerably larger this time. I was counting heads and I thought, I hope everyone gets a cupcake. But anyway, we're a local scratch bakery that's just opening. My last name is Eaton, so business name is Eaton Sweet. We do everything from cheesecakes to cupcakes, cookies, homemade baked breads, really yummy desserts. So you guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy.
And what flavors did you bring tonight?
Tonight we have Mexican vanilla, which is in the center with a bit of Mexican sugar and cinnamon vanilla, azúcar on top. Then we have a vanilla with rose water, which is the pink. And for the chocolate lovers, we have a yellow cake with chocolate frosting, like my husband likes to refer to as redneck cake. You guys enjoy it.
And if they like your
Oh, and if you like us on Facebook, Eaton Sweets Bakery, and you come into the bakery and you show me or one of our staff that you liked us on Facebook, your first dessert is complimentary.
And it's on Wurzbach, right?
We're on the corner of Wurzbach and Lock Hill Selma in the Elms Shopping Center across from Elm Creek. And our hours are, crazily enough, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays we close at 3 and Sundays we need to rest. So we're closed. But 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And thank you again.
Thank you, Erin.
All right, let's go ahead and do our...
Oh, do I get the honors? This is the fun part. So this is something, for those of you who weren't at the last event, Jeremy came to me about a month ago, or 2 months ago, and said, hey, would you be interested in helping other small businesses grow? And I thought, sure, how much are we going to charge him? And he said, no, we're going to do it for free. And I said, okay, sure. So what's really important, in my opinion, is helping others. There's a number of benefits from that, but when we help others, we actually grow ourselves. Anybody that's ever given, there's such a rewarding thing that you get from giving that you can't put a value on. So with that said, we're going to draw the 3 cards from the bowl, and we're going to give you the opportunity to come up for about 60 seconds, tell everybody what you do, and that way maybe somebody in this audience can refer you more business, because who doesn't want more business, except for the one guy that came last time and said he didn't need more business. Okay, so our first lucky contestant to come up and speak
Is Wheat Electric and Control.
great guy, Ed Wheat.
That's right. Okay. And what is your name? Ed. All right, Ed. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do. Are you from San Antonio?
I'm not. I'm from north of San Antonio. I'm based out of Waco, Texas. I'm a small electrical contractor who specializes in basically providing the needs for manufacturing facilities.
All right.
Last month, I was prepared for this, and I was
That's fantastic. So how long have you been in business and what is it exactly?
I have 8 years next month under my belt. And basically what I do is I look for small manufacturing and industrial facilities. I primarily do industrial commercial work. And what that does is allow me to utilize my background. I work for International Paper. It's a big Fortune 500 companies in maintenance, and did that for a number of years. And this allows me to go into small facilities that don't have the adequate staff to do their own work and help supplement their needs.
All right. So you look basically your typical client is someone who doesn't have the staff
That's
or
right.
that can do it
Yeah.
as well. So do you pretty much what do you service? The Blanco area,
Oh, no.
San Antonio?
No, my service area is from Marble Falls to Laredo, Del Rio, Corpus.
Big.
That's it.
Wow.
I'm small, but we're specialized.
So Ed, if somebody needs to get in touch with you, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, you can go to Wheat Electric Facebook page. You can always like that. I don't have enough likes there. So, and then also I have a website, wheat-electric.com.
And that's WHEAT
Wheat, like the bread, that's correct.
-electric.com.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you.
And go to his Facebook page, guys. Like it.
Hey, I appreciate it.
All right. Our next one up is Amanda Jimenez.
All right.
I actually met Amanda on the hallway, so I'm saying. In any case, please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. I see that it's New York Life is on your card.
Yes, it is. So I'm a licensed agent with New York Life. So as y'all know, it is a life insurance company. We do a lot more, but my main focus is life insurance. So young families, growing families, San Antonio's growing. So call me and I'll make sure to take care of them.
And how long have you been in the business?
I'm a new agent, so since March. This is a great opportunity.
So Amanda needs a business, and we all need life insurance. Everybody.
Yes. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but it's a big, important
Who
topic.
do you see as your typical clients?
Right now, I would say young families. You know, people getting engaged, having a new baby in addition to the family. That's my main focus right now. I do work in San Antonio. I am from New Braunfels, so I'm a small town girl. I do a lot of business out there, so anywhere in Texas, pretty much. But right now, it is San Antonio. So if you guys know of anybody in Houston, Dallas, on the south of San Antonio, anywhere.
And how can we get a hold of you?
On Facebook.
Okay.
I do have a business page, Amanda Jimenez. It's under licensed New York Life agent. So,
Fantastic. And guys, again, everybody needs life insurance, so contact Amanda. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Amanda.
Are you guys ready? And M. Andrews with
Woo!
Ontario.
Come on, Marcus. I do have to act like I don't know you, Marcus. Marcus is a great guy. I do happen to know him, so as you can see, he's dressed So Marcus, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll hear a little bit more afterwards.
Okay, well, for those who don't know me, I'm Marcus Andrews. Business owner is where I'm with. I'm in the
Can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me now? All right, so my occupation is custom menswear. I am a designer. I design custom clothing, suits, dress shirts, and then specialty shoes. So shoes is where I make my market San Antonio.
And how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for almost 2 years.
And he does exquisite work. And who are some of your clients as far as like what do you look for, type of clientele?
My ideal client is anyone who wants to pay attention to detail, anyone who's concerned about their appearance. Most of us claim to be the best in what we do, so putting your best foot forward first is often your appearance. I have clients from all spectrums of life, from both the professional space as well as the entertainment and professional sports space, etc.
Fantastic. And you, what areas are you most in San Antonio, or what are you throughout Texas? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I'm kind of everywhere now. So, San Antonio is where my base is, but I do some work in Hollywood, also some work in Chicago and Atlanta, etc.
All right, fantastic. And where is, I know you have a store here in San Antonio. Can you tell us where?
So the physical address is 362 West Sunset. We're on Sunset Road in Alamo Heights, across from the Home Depot, really close to the Alamo Board.
Fantastic. Guys, remember him. He is, he's definitely on the rise, without a doubt. Fantastic, fantastic.
All about presentation.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, Marcus. All right, guys, so again, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to be your MC, your hostess, but I will also be speaking, and it's fantastic that Marcus came up here because part of what I'm going to be speaking on is presentation as far as putting your best foot forward as well. I don't know who all was at the last event, but my name is Narissa Figueroa, and I am a fitness specialist. However, I've been a fitness competitor since 2008. I've been in the fitness industry over 20 years. Yes, over 20. So I started when I was 10. I wish. But I love it. I absolutely love what I do. I have a passion for it. My biggest, satisfaction in it is when helping people reach their goals and the excitement of getting off their medications or reaching their weight loss goal. But just to tell you a little bit about me, I was Miss Fitness Arizona 2009, 2010. And I joked because I said I would have gone back and done 2011, but I wanted to be in Texas. So, Miss Fitness USA finalist from 2008, 2010, and then a finalist in Miss Fitness America. In those two competitions, especially the Fitness USA, we had to do an actual fitness routine as well. So if any of you have ever seen them on ESPN and so forth, they're very tough and beat your body up. So I also competed in Fitness America, and in 2012, I did the World Beauty Fitness and Fashion Federation, and I won the Texas Championship in Fitness. I have competed in the WBFF World Championship, and I'll be going back to compete in 2.5 weeks in Las Vegas. So wish me luck. Super excited, and I'll be going there. I am also a blogger, a writer. I have a page on Facebook. It's Stay Fit, Stay Fierce with Narissa. And also I have my own page, Narissa Figueroa, and my website is stayfitstayfierce.com. So I work with individuals on programs, one-on-one training. I do corporate wellness. I worked for the Air Force for almost 8 years, training airmen, teaching some of the airmen to be physical training leaders. And then I worked for the Valero Corporation for almost 4 years as a health fitness specialist. And I'm currently the health and fitness director at the Zachary Corporation. So a lot of corporate, military, commercial, work with athletes to rehab clients as well. But my biggest passion are my children. So tonight is going to be about pitch and presenting yourself and putting your best foot forward. And the thing with me is that I always believe we have a pitch for different roles in our life. Obviously, my fitness pitch, I was a little longer, but I wanted to tell you everything about myself and what I could. This is my mommy pitch. My daughter wrote this, and I loved it so much it's on my refrigerator. She's 9, and I have a son who's 12 and a daughter that's 9. And that's my top role, they're my number 1. We try every day. I try with them as far as trying to be the best mother that I can, best example that I can, knowing that sometimes I slip a little bit, but I think sometimes, we're a little bit harder on ourselves than we need to be. But in her eyes, I'm the best mom ever, makes the best food ever, so that's a plus for me. Makes people strong, and I love that. Best caregiver ever, and will never ever give up on anyone, me or my brother. So that meant a lot to me when she wrote that, obviously. So that's my mommy pitch that my daughter, she wrote that on her own. I didn't even ask for it, so I was really excited. So that's my first role. But to go over pitch some more, one of the things that I have always told myself is that, especially with fitness and your health, how you are on the inside, how you feel, taking care of you is what is going to take care of everything else. Because even as a mom, if I have a crazy stress day, I work full time, I have clients as well, so sometimes I'm literally going from 5:30 in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night. And then I still have laundry to do, maybe some other things to get going, but constantly moving. Right? But I know I have to take care of me. So I have to make time for exercise because I know that's what's going to help me feel better to refocus. So when you start thinking about that and how you appear to others, one of the things that I've seen myself is, for example, in the fitness center I train at, there is a trainer, and I'm friends with her, she comes in. However, the bad thing is, she looks like she rolled out of bed. She really does. And to me, I'm my own walking billboard. Me. And the reason I say this is because you wouldn't go to a dentist and arrive in the dental office, and if you see the dentist has completely messed up teeth, you probably wouldn't want him doing work on you. If you arrive, ladies especially, at the hairstylist, and the hairstylist has really not so nice hair, you probably wouldn't want her doing work on you. So you're your own walking billboard. Taking care of me is what's going to be number 1 and make it important to present myself to others. Do they want to work with me? So in that case, you have to think, are you limited or are you limitless? Okay? And this is a perfect example. They did a study with children. They were about up to the age of 5. And basically with the study, they showed them different pictures of people, individuals, asking them who they thought were powerful, who they thought were strong. Most of the children veered to the people who were well-dressed, well-groomed, as being more powerful and stronger. So it's not just about what we learn just as we're older, but as we're younger, as we're growing, that's what people tend to veer to, all right? So something that you always want to keep in mind. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, the first wealth is health. And again, I go back to always telling everyone, my clients, and believing myself, that if you don't take care of you, everything kind of starts to fall apart. You're maybe stressed out a little bit, maybe you're a little grumpy, you had a bad day, you're feeling lethargic. If you're not taking care of yourself, whether it be through exercise or healthy eating choices or your daily routine, your body is going to start to be affected, along with your brain, along with your emotions. All right, some of us know what that means. It could be some small stress that we encounter, and all of a sudden, maybe we're a little ticked off, or we didn't need to be. Okay? Maybe we overreact about something, and we didn't need to. It's all about taking care of yourself, all right? And I tell my kids that as well. If mommy doesn't work out, I'm gonna be cranky. So you bet they want me to go to the gym, okay? All right, so looking prepared, feeling prepared, being prepared. If you look good, you feel good, yes? You gotta remember that all the time. And here's the other thing. Not only do you feel better, but guess what happens either in your workplace or with your work? Your productivity increases, all right? It increases without a shadow of a doubt. And again, as you heard, I work with Valero. I worked with Valero, and I work now with Zachary, worked with the military. And I cannot tell you enough how much they stress the importance of health, all right? One of the reasons their absenteeism decreases. Productivity goes up. People seem to be happier, get along better. When they maybe skip their lunch and go work out and exercise, you know, what's going to happen when they go into that next meeting? They're energized, they're ready to go. And they're going to finish that last half of the day more productive. All right? So keep that in mind. And just to go over a little bit, some statistics on this. It's not just about, you know, you have to be a certain size or a certain look to be successful. What it is that employers are also looking at, again, at productivity, but also cost. Right now, what's on the radar is insurance, claims. So that is super important, and employers are looking at that, and that's why they're on a push to make their employees healthier. The military, they're on a push to make their military healthier. Okay? They have to pass physical training tests to stay in the military. And one of the reasons the Air Force PT test came into place was because they were having to take money away from equipment, manpower, so less money on planes, and more money into medical costs for retirees and active duty as well. So they're taking away from one to have to support the other. And if you look at this gives you a little bit of an idea. 45 billion, and this was, I believe, 2010, this article, annually in medical expenditures, all right? If you look at this bottom one, medical claims cost per 100 employees amounted to $51,000 for obese, compared with $7,500 for non-obese. Okay, so you've got to believe it that employers are looking at that. And not just employers. Employers, maybe people you want to work with. It's all about everyone looking at their bottom line. Okay, so keep that in mind. And with that said, when you go to meet a new client, maybe go to an interview, maybe you're hoping for a promotion, maybe you're hoping to land a big client or a big account. Okay, you've got 6 seconds, all right? What do I mean by that? Is in half a second, when you meet somebody, they're already sizing you up. Half a second. In the next 5 seconds, they're changing their mind back and forth about 11 times. Okay, so 6 seconds. So just like Marcus said, putting your best foot forward, right? Always. So this gives you a little bit of idea. And like I said, this is not about you have to be a certain size or anything like that. This is about a healthier you, feeling healthier, and presenting yourself better. All right? And they're all different looks. A little bit sloppy, maybe not so dressed. This one, I'm just going to put it out there, too sexy. Okay? And yes, there is such a thing. Okay? And let me tell you why. Going on to the next slide. This is another article. When you're giving your pitch, your presentation, when you meet somebody, right away people can usually tell if you have wow factor. I say wow factor or whoa factor. Because when someone walks up and you're like, whoa. Right? Or you're like, can't stop looking at them and you're wow. You know? And I have literally been on the stage competing with other women. And there's this one, and she's won the championship, the world championship, twice. But I can understand why. When she walks out and presents herself, I cannot take my eyes off of her because of her presentation. And that's 50% of how you place in a competition, is how you do your presentation. So just to give you an idea, again, wow factor or whoa, do you have magnetism? Are you able to easily influence? A lot of that, it depends on how you look. I know that right now, many times we don't want to look at someone and instantly judge them. However, it happens. Like I told you about the study from even young children. It starts when we're young. It happens in our brains regardless if we want it to or not. All right? So, appearance, as I was speaking on this, an unkept attire detracts from both men and women's executive presence. And this was a study that was done with about 500 recruiters and accountants or executives that were looking to hire on or work with other clients or partner with someone. So unkempt attire detracts. And look, in women, specifically, 73% too tight or provocative clothing undercuts it. 73%. Okay, so we want to look professional, of course, but we don't want to overdo it either. Okay, that's a big, big factor. There was a CEO from Peabody and Associates. What he said was, and I'll go on to this next slide to give you an idea. How do you showcase your brand? Okay, because like I said, you're your own walking billboard. You are your brand. What Mr. Peabody said was, he had someone apply for an executive position. She sent him all her information through her Gmail. He sent that Gmail from his email, his work email, to his Gmail. He instantly looked at her picture on the Gmail account. She was holding a glass of champagne, wearing a tight red dress, and he said that was as far as her application got. Okay, the next incident, he said that someone else applied for a position. Same thing, he looked at one of her pictures, provocative clothing, and she was winking at the camera. That was where that application stopped. And the reason I'm bringing this up, as I'm talking, as I mentioned, putting your best foot forward, we no longer have a private life. And that's what a lot of public relation firms, I just spoke with someone today about it. Our lives are no longer private, they're public. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, you no longer have a private life unless you make your accounts extremely private and it's just personal and you only allow certain people on there. But even then, pictures can get out. And the reason I say this is, again, for example, I'm in the fitness industry. I have an account for my family that I solely am with my family on my Facebook. I have another account that's fitness. I'm in the fitness industry, so I do post sometimes pictures of my journey about to compete. Maybe I'll show my abs, or maybe I'll show a certain exercise or workout that I do. But remember, looking at these pictures, we all know the duck face. Yes? Yes. So, we all do it, and I just laughed so hard when I said this. How you think you look while you're making the duck face, what you really look like when you're making the duck face. And then the other one, drinks with friends. The other one, the young lady taking a shot. I know we all have our own lives. However, now that our lives are so public, and they're very much comparing it to the paparazzi, we no longer have those private lives and think, oh, well, no one's going to see this picture. Because clients are going to the Facebook pages, the Instagram. Companies are going to these accounts. All right? So if I'm an accounting firm, and I have an accountant coming to possibly apply at my firm, if it's a guy and I go to his Facebook and I see a bunch of crazy pictures, probably not going to want him at my firm. If it's a woman and she's got really revealing pictures, or she herself has a bunch of partying pictures, that's not somebody they're going to look at to have at their firm. And ladies, I have to also tell you, this is coming from women recruiting managers and men. They both say it's almost harder on women because you have to look professional, but the moment they feel that a woman looks too provocative, they will not bring her into the company or promote her. Okay? But it applies to all of us. So just remember, your life is no longer private anymore, it's very public. So be proud of what you do, having those moments, being happy, and presenting yourself well, taking care of yourself. It's very, very, very important because this is a big belief for me is how you look, how you speak, and how you act is your personal brand. All right? So like I mentioned, I'm my own walking billboard. I have to present myself. I have to look healthy. If I was a trainer who showed up looking like I just rolled out of bed or, hey, I'm taking a cigarette break, that's not going to work. So keep all those things in mind and take pride in what you do and how you are going to present yourself. And I guarantee you that exercise, eating right, will help you. The only reason I'm able to get through my days as long as they are, I promise you guys, is because I exercise and eat healthy. That helps me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. Okay, so again, I hope that helps you guys. Like I mentioned, it's real important taking care of yourselves. I can't stress it enough. That's going to be a big part of who you are and your brand. So our next speaker, Jonathan De La Garza, he has, if you haven't noticed, what all of us are wearing on the panel is the positive pin. All right? And if you'd like one, you can buy one. I'll tell you here in a little bit. It was acknowledged by President Obama and Zig Ziglar for creating the positive pin. And this is fantastic. I think we all need reminders of thinking positive in our lives. Like I mentioned, we all have those little stress moments, whether they're big or small. Usually it's the small ones that add up. And what does that saying goes? Don't sweat the small stuff. So he created this. Fantastic reminder. They're over here at the table if you'd like to buy one, and they're only $5. All right. So Christmas isn't here yet, but great little stocking stuffer, Halloween treat. But he was also featured nationally in the Realtor magazine as a great tool for keeping a positive attitude with positive pin. He's helped to inspire cancer survivors to keep a positive attitude. And when I first met Jonathan, I met him a little over a year ago, and he asked if he could interview me to, for positive role model and putting positive thoughts out there. And of course, I talk on fitness because I think it helps. But he's fantastic. I think it's fabulous that we have someone like him spreading positive vibes throughout our city. Jonathan De La Garza.
It's an honor to be here with you guys. And before I speak, I want you to just pause and think for a second. Jeremy said earlier that everybody here has the option of being anywhere else, but you guys chose to be here. And that speaks volumes about you all, because somewhere deep inside of you, there's a part of you that wants to grow or learn something. That's a really small percentage of society. Only about 10% of people are willing to come to an event like this and invest in themselves. So I'm not going to ask you to applaud for yourselves, but applaud for the people around you right now, because I like being around people like you guys. And on that note, when we surround ourselves with people that we feel can help us grow, it really helps, because this is all in all sincerity. Whenever I go out to eat, which is very often, I look at the menu and I think, if she finds out what I'm eating, is she going to be mad? Is she going to give me a hard time? It's really helped me eat healthier, so thank you. So you surround yourself with people that are like-minded or wanting to improve themselves. So to tell you a quick story of something I read this morning. It was about a Texan in Scotland. And he goes to this bar, and he moseys up to the bar to get a pint, and there's an old Scotsman there, so he kind of strikes up a conversation with the old man. He says, so what do you do? And the old Scotsman says, oh, I own a little farm. And Texan, very proud, says, oh yeah, I've got a farm. I can get in my truck in the morning, drive for about 4 hours, and still not get to the other side of my farm. The Scotsman says, I used to have a truck like that. So, last time that we did this event, guys, I spoke about positivity because I sincerely feel that is something that's missing in society. And for those of you who weren't there, I'm going to go over real briefly 3 simple principles that I use on a daily basis to live a more positive life, because I think we'll all agree that we are conditioned to be negative, right? I mean, the story I told last time was if you see somebody walking down the street and they're smiling and they're happy, the first thing that most people think is, what are they drinking? What's wrong with them, right? That is a sure sign that our society is messed up. So there are 3 simple principles that I use. Actually, I use more than 3, but these, for the sake of this speech, are easy to do. My favorite speaker's name was Jim Rohn. And he said, getting successful or getting rich or realizing your dreams, it's not hard. The things that people need to do to become successful are easy to do. But the challenge is they're easy not to do. So these 3 simple principles, they're going to seem silly. And some of the best ideas are. So I encourage you, if you brought something to write with, write these 3 things down, implement them tonight, implement them tomorrow, do them for at least a week, and I guarantee that your life will be happier. And as a matter of fact, we have somebody in our audience who did one of these principles the next day. And let me ask you, Sam, did you feel good when you did it? You see what I'm talking about? So the very first thing that you guys do, I call this the big goofy grin. The minute that you wake up, and I mean the absolute minute that your eyes are open, smile the biggest, goofiest grin that you can smile. There's a science behind it. The reason why is because when you smile, your brain releases endorphins. And that will instantly make you more alert. It'll make you laugh at yourself a bit because you're kind of being a goofball. And then throughout the day, when you reflect on smiling with a big goofy grin, you're going to kind of chuckle to yourself. I guarantee this is one of the easiest things and the most beneficial things that I've ever done to make my life happier. The second thing to do is to sing in the shower. Now, Time Magazine, this is not me, this is Time Magazine, did a study. And it said that singing in the shower actually reprograms your brain. It releases 2 very important natural chemicals. It releases endorphins, and it releases oxytocin. Those are 2 natural chemicals that alleviate stress and make you feel better. Now, I missed the slide that I put in last time. I always recommend singing something from the 80s because those 80s songs are, to me, they're the most fun, right? Just get your Bon Jovi on or whatever. The last thing that this has helped me immensely is to listen to motivational speakers. I have tons of MP3s of motivational speakers in my car. And if you ask my girlfriend, that's almost entirely what's on every time I'm driving. Listen to this guy here, his name is Les Brown. And he is incredible. I encourage you to listen to anything that he speaks on, you won't be disappointed. The second guy is Jim Rohn. He has a CD compilation called The Art of Exceptional Living. And they're very simple principles, but this guy was considered a business titan, and he's incredible. So those 2 guys, if you listen to just 2, listen to those 2 guys. So the reason why we are here is obviously to learn to present ourselves better, whether it's in business or in your personal life. Because how many times does someone come up and ask you, hey, what do you do? And if you do something like real estate, like I'm a realtor. Somebody comes up to me and says, hey, what do you do? I'm a realtor. That's not very exciting, is it? No. So these are some things to think about before you present yourself or your business. The very first thing is, what makes you different? Because how many realtors are out there? I mean, there's tons. There's probably a bunch of people like yourselves that do the same thing. So what sets you apart? Second thing is, why would I want to do business with you? Or why would I want to refer my friends to you when you're breaking the microphones? Why? You know, what sets you apart? Why are you different? Third thing, are you likable? I mean, how many times have you met somebody and within the first 30 seconds, you don't like them? Something about people, right? And then there's other people on the flip side of the coin, you meet them and you instantly have this attraction to them. They're just likable. Are you likable? Some people aren't. Do you dress the part? That's a recurring theme in success, is it not? I mean, I've seen people that are very, very wealthy and they wear tennis shoes and jeans and they can pull it off. But for those of us here who aren't, you know, hey, put on a pressed suit, put on a clean shirt, put on something that's going to set you apart, that's going to make you look the part. There's that famous saying that all the motivational speakers talk about, fake it till you make it. Is your email and phone number, oops. Now, this is an important one. Man, it messed up. Is your email and your phone number correct on your cards? I went to a networking event about a month ago, and the people's phone numbers and their emails were not right on their card. And you know, how seriously can you take someone if they can't even invest the time to get their email or the phone number right? And cards are so inexpensive nowadays. Do you you listen to reply or do you listen to understand? That's a big thing. How many times have you spoken to somebody, you're not even done with your sentence and they're answering you back? Has anybody here experienced that? That is really, really important. And when you do that, when you listen to understand what the person is saying, that develops a level of sincerity with them, right? And then lastly, do you have a positive mindset? I mean, there's so many people out here that are negative. They're always looking for someone to put down because they think it's going to make themselves feel better. In the end, it doesn't. And then lastly, are you, not lastly, but two more. Are you confident? Confidence carries volumes. I have a good friend. He lacks confidence, but this guy should not. I mean, he has everything that anybody could ever want for, but he just lacks confidence. I know other people, we've all seen him, the ugly guy with the beautiful girl, and he's just got that confidence, right? Do you or ah or you know when you speak? If anybody here is not a member of Toastmasters, I highly encourage you to go to Toastmasters. Maybe you don't want to be a motivational speaker, or maybe you don't want to be a speaker or a public speaker at all, but it just helps you with your communication. That's a big thing for me. I used to and ah, and hopefully I haven't been doing it much lately, but that's a huge thing. If you or ah, if you can avoid that, it makes you sound like you know what you're talking about. So when it comes to the components of a good presentation, like I said, whether it's your business or you're trying to make a connection with somebody just on a personal level, here's some things, and I encourage you to write these down because this is going to be very helpful. Tell an inspiring story. This is some information that I got over studying several speakers who talked about how to deliver a good presentation. Tell an inspiring story. For example, if I was a CPA, somebody said, what do you do? Oh, I'm a CPA. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Rather, if I say, well, last year I helped 90% of my clients get over $5,000 back on their taxes just by starting with an inspiring story. What's your name and your background? Well, my name's Jonathan. I've been our company's most decorated CPA for 5 years. What's a challenge that you are aware of in the marketplace? Well, most people overlook tax deductions that could get them thousands of dollars back every year. Mention a target customer, because obviously everybody's not your target customer, right? There are specific people. I was speaking to a gentleman earlier, and he was talking about the target market. I mean, a lot of people overlook, rather we want to catch, what's that saying about trying to catch all the fish, but you really just need to catch one? I should have read that up, but everybody is not your customer. As much as we want to believe that everybody is our customer, everybody is not our customer. So your target market, my specialty is helping people in South Texas that are self-employed or own their own business. And how you create value for your potential customer. Could you use an extra $2,000 a year to reinvest in your company? And then last one, a goal or something that makes them want to know you more or want to do business with you. I keep a list of the most overlooked tax exemptions on my desk. If you'd like to set up an appointment, give me your business card. I mean, that would attract me. If I met a CPA that said, oh man, you're a realtor, you're self-employed, do you know that 60% of people miss out on $5,000 a year getting back because they don't know these write-offs? I mean, anybody here that's filed taxes, who wouldn't want more deductions, right? Or more money back? So if I met a CPA that used those simple steps to talk to me about, I would definitely be interested in doing business with them rather than I am a CPA. So guys, thank you for your time. Narissa was right. I have positive pins over here. Real briefly about that. It was 2009. I was living in Houston. I was going through a very challenging time, and my business was really, really down, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Actually, I was 39 years old. I called my mom, and I was crying. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I said, Mom, what am I doing? I'm living in Houston, 39-year-old man, and I don't even know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I was confused. She said, honey, just come back home. And I said, I didn't want to go home. You know, I didn't want to give up. I wanted to fight, and I did. I fought. I said, you know what? I need to change my mindset because I was very blessed. And that's the thing about the positive pin. Whether you use this to remind yourself to think positive thoughts, or you use a watch or a necklace, use something that's going to remind you to think about your blessings because we live in the best country in the world. And I've spoken to people that have bought positive pins, and they said, you know what, I'm battling cancer, and this little reminder has helped me through my challenge. I had breakfast with my friend Matt, and his sister-in-law has cancer. And we started getting into this conversation and about the things that we have and that we want, and he said, you know what, John? The only thing that Cindy wants is not to have cancer. She doesn't want $1 million. She doesn't want a Mercedes. All people with cancer want is not to have cancer. And I felt like, man, I need to think about that more often because it makes me realize how blessed I am. All of us here are just so blessed. So Guys, thank you for listening. If there's anything we can do to help you grow, please let us know, because that's why we're putting these on, to help you grow, because it helps us grow.
Thank you, Jonathan. And I can encourage all of you to get a pen because they do really remind you, whether when I'm wearing mine and I see it in the mirror, it's a big reminder I'm having a bad day, or maybe I screwed up. We all make mistakes, but it's a big reminder that, hey, you know, you've got a lot of blessings in your life. So I highly encourage you guys to get one. All right, our next speaker is the CEO of Boss Creative. He is master of establishing a lot of value. He has worked with so many customers, helped thousands of companies. He's got 65 plus employees globally, and he's an executive MBA. He's also worldly. He's from Egypt, and also moved to Canada. And now we are blessed to have him here in San Antonio. So, Mr. Peter Christian.
Thank you guys. Awesome to be here, and it's incredible to see so many like-minded people ready to collaborate together. And hope you're ready for the exercise that's coming around the corner. We're here together to collaborate and learn. So what we're going to do is, first of all, get my microphone. In order to establish value and make it worth it. We're going to make it worth it for everybody whenever we present ourselves, whenever we connect with people, and whenever we brand ourselves. Like Marissa said, we are our own brand. Like Jonathan said, positive thinking will make a huge difference in everybody's life. And we're going to discover a few nuts and bolts on how all of this fits together. So, without further ado, let's start. Anybody knows Anthony Robbins? Probably a rhetorical question, but another one. This is better? All right. Anthony Robbins, in one of his seminars, shared something incredible. Every single human being that walks this earth has 6 basic human needs. The first one is certainty. You wake up in your bed, you expect to be in your bed. If this bed is no longer there, it would be kind of a weird situation. On the other side, the basic need number 2, as much as we need certainty, if we knew all the time what's going to happen, life would kind of be boring, right? So as much as we do not like the element of surprise, we need it for our day-to-day. So uncertainty is the second basic human need. The third one is connection. We are all here today because we are connected together for a beautiful event that's going to allow us to collaborate together, learn together, grow together. That's awesome. Connection is one of the most important parts of who we are and what we do. The next one is significance. Life without a purpose has no meaning. Significance is enormous. Most of the time, people focus on those 4, but forget the last 2. The last 2 are growth, which means that if we're not growing, life loses some of its flavor. And last but not least, and this kind of connects the dots for why we're here, contribution. We're here to contribute in everybody's success by helping each other. And this is where it adds a lot of value. It makes it worth it to satisfy those 6 basic human needs. Take notes of those, because this applies throughout anything we are and everything we do. So far, so good? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. One of the biggest and most important parts of presenting ourselves and connecting with others is obviously recognizing some fundamentals. I'm going to start with something simple, which is attention span. Anybody is familiar with the attention span of a goldfish? It's 9 seconds. Exactly 9 seconds, that's the attention span of a goldfish. We can call him Bob, maybe. I don't know. But let's kind of bring it closer to home. Human beings' attention span is 8. It's a fact. It's true. 8 seconds. We kind of need to get to the point and make it worth our while, or else. Correct. Now, Boss Creative, we've been around for about 11 years, built thousands of websites, thousands of marketing strategies, and it used to be 15 seconds online for the attention span. It dropped to 5, and it's now down to 3. There are billions of websites out there, and if you're reaching your audience face-to-face, keep the first number in mind. If you're reaching your audience online, you've got 3 seconds to make a point and to make a connection and to establish credibility. This is a big deal. Now, part of presenting yourself has to do with branding. Branding is a huge element, and let's go into the nuts and bolts of what branding is. Like Marissa said, you are your own brand. But establishing your brand as an individual, as a professional, or as a corporation has to follow certain rules, certain fundamentals. Branding consists of 2 major things. First and foremost, obviously, the icon that represents your brand. This is just a graphical element. That's not your brand. Your brand consists of the logo, which is created, in addition to 2 fundamental elements that you need to take into consideration. The first one is your brand message. Who you are. Everybody have heard of this company called Apple? Think different. They were able to accomplish their brand under 7 words, but they made it in 2 words. That is awesome. And once you've established your brand message, your mission statement allows your audience to recognize how you deliver your brand message. Important and very, 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 very critical whenever you're building your brand. The next item, the next element that you need to take into consideration is obviously building your brand. I don't know how many of you were there in the last Mastermind. We were able to share together the reality made out of perception. Perception makes reality. There are multiple realities available to all of us, and we choose to see one or another. So, perspective of how you construct your brand is very, very critical, very important. The 3 perspectives, whenever you're building your brand or whenever you're presenting yourself, has to take into consideration 3 major elements. First one is your customer. Obviously, at the end of the day, those are the ones who are going to make your business grow. Internal perspective on how you recognize yourself of who you are, what you do, is very essential as well. And last but not least, how do you stand out amongst your peers, amongst the ones offering the same type of services, products and services out there in the marketplace? Very important, and please remember those things. Knowing who you're talking to or who your audience is very important as well. Because if it doesn't apply, like what we've shared it so many times, not everybody is your customer. If it's not a fit, it isn't. But if it is, you have to be able to showcase how it is a fit by presenting your services and presenting who you are, what you do, and what you can do for them in collaborating together and getting to where this final destination is by defining that. If we fail, if we do not take the time to do our homework, to prepare ourselves to do this right, this is the first thing that they're going to see from a customer. What's in it for me? Why should I care? I am in the middle of 15,000 things, and no, I'm not really interested right now. So how do you bypass all of those things? How do you make sure that it is a fit, and how do you make sure to avoid, the deer in headlights? Like, okay, are we done yet? No, get to the point and make it worth it, and make sure it is a fit for what you do and for what they're looking for. Everybody that is putting together their products and services and putting together the brand has a story. That story has to be showcased, and it has to be presented in a way for your audience to recognize it in a simple and easy way. Short, sweet, to the point. So the story reflects your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What difference is it bringing to the marketplace, to the customer's life, to their customer's business? You have to know it, and know it instantly, on the spot. Because at the end of the day, you are there to learn about your customer's dream. You're there to learn about where they want to be using your products and services by connecting with you properly. So learning about their dreams and making their dream come true will make your business. Remember that. I would like to share with you something else that is very, very important on how you present yourself and how you articulate. Articulate is a very, very important word, because using the right words to describe what you do is very important. Okay, let me share a quick little video. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this one before, but it's pretty interesting. Let's watch. Just about a chair. Words mean I have 2 things to share with you. Whenever you're talking about branding, brand consistency is the key. Everything you do, everything you are, everything you leave behind, everything that is found online has to stay in consistency. Consistency is the key. Once you have established that connection, once you see that there is a fit, the secret will be in the follow-up. Not every decision is made on the spot. Not everybody has the time. You respect your time, you respect the client's time or the prospective client's time. But the magic happens in the follow-up. To summarize, our 6 basic human needs. Anybody remember? Got it. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Those are very, very important. The attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. Awesome. Human being? Fantastic. Thank you. Your brand, your identity, brand message versus mission statement. Clear? Awesome. Know who you are presenting to. Because if you don't, why should they care? Thank you. Tell your story, and tell your story using the right words. And we all know why. What's your dream? What's their dream? And be consistent in everything you do, everything you are. Magic happens in me. Fantastic. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Such a powerful video, very powerful. All right, so our next speaker, he is one of the top 200 financial advisors, and also the biggest thing is he is the founder of thesecrettosuccess.com, a fantastic website. If you've not been to it, please do so. And he's also one of the top 40 under 40 business owners, San Antonio Business Journal's financial planning expert of San Antonio, and News 4 WOAI. And let's turn it over to Jeremy McGilvery.
How many times do you get to make a first impression? One time to make a first impression. And each one of us tonight has talked about the attention spans. 2 psychologists at Princeton University discovered that our frontal cortex, our subconscious mind, begins making an opinion about someone we meet in 1/10 of a second. I started doing some research on this because I was trying to figure out how that could possibly be true. 1/10 of a second to form an opinion about someone, and it came down to 3 factors. The first factor was demeanor. The second factor was posture. And the third was appearance. With appearance being the overwhelming majority of how we begin to form opinions about people. You know how they say, you can't judge a book by the cover? Well, that sounds good, but it actually isn't true. You know what I like to tell people? Each one of you have a book inside. Each one of you have great, fantastic, amazing ideas and information. Make the cover attractive enough that people will want to crack it open and read it. Because so many people have so much value, but nobody reads the book. Because we live in a society where people judge books by the cover. And sticking with the metaphor of judging a book by the cover, it took me a while to do some research on this, but there's several actual books that all they did was change the cover to become bestsellers. 3 examples are True Colors. Didn't sell more than 2 books a day. Change the cover, not the content. Sold dozens and dozens per day. Another book, The Picture Kills. Didn't sell hardly any books, changed the cover, became a bestseller. One more. Better Than the Real Thing. This book right here, changed the cover, became a New York Times bestseller. What's my point? My point is, we need to make the cover of our books as attractive as possible. And I don't mean by appearance. I mean our overall lifestyles. Everything about us. And if you think your first impressions when you meet somebody, you're wrong. There's a lot of other impressions out there, and Marissa talked about that, with us not having a private life any longer. There's some science taking place here, and it's called the sensational transreference effect. And it's what this is our brains begin to associate feelings and emotions with the visuals that we see. Ice cream companies found that if they stopped putting ice cream in a square container and put it into a round jar, they could double their price. 7-Up did a taste testing, and not changing the ingredients in the 7-Up, but changing the color of the can, the participants tasted more citrus when it was more green, and they put a lemon on there. Our brains are programmed to function on what we see. One of my favorite experiments, I read about this years ago in one of Malcolm Gladwell's books. I believe it was Outliers. And this experiment was in a room like this, they served dinner rolls. And they put butter that was just on a table in its cubes, and then they put butter in foil. And they watched what people did. The majority of people preferred the butter in the foil. And there's actually a little more science to this to go back. Margarine first started when it came out in the 40s, was white. People didn't like white margarine. So what did marketing companies do? They dyed it yellow, put foil around it, and it sold. Apple Computers spent more than $3 billion last year on packaging. That's it. If you bought an Apple product, you'll know it's beautiful when it comes into the box. I talked about posture a little bit for our frontal cortex when it's making these decisions. And this is where text messaging can kind of hurt us these days. Because the majority, more than 90% of how we communicate has absolutely nothing to do with the words. 55% body language. More than 30% tone. And then it's a mere 7% in what we actually say. What Peter said about the words we use. There's a great example that Disney World has. When someone asks what time they close, you know what they're taught to say? The park is open until 9. They don't say it closes at 9. It's all in how you say it. And so when you're presenting yourself, stand up. Be proud of what you have to bring. And I see this at networking events. People will fold their arms, they may even look down, and they're miserable to promote their company. Get a new job. Life is short.
Thank you.
Each one of us have said, everybody is not your customer. We can't please everybody. Go niche or go broke, and niche to get rich. Seth Godin, one of my favorite authors, and probably the most popular blogger on the planet. He constantly pontificates about not everybody is your customer, and the reason why Seth teaches this, if you'll notice I have marketing written perpendicular, vertically instead of horizontal. Get deep in your markets, not wide. Because none of us can afford, not Apple, not Costco, not AT&T can afford to advertise to everybody. And we have to promote our products. Get deep in the company that you're going to be producing or promoting to. And this goes with the people out here that attend networking events. Don't every now and again go to 5 or 6. Pick 2 or 3 and become a part. Because we all know the factors. People have to know you, they have to like you, and they need to trust you. I want to go over some do's and don'ts. Some do's. Do speak with confidence. The number one thing, and I promise you, the number one thing everybody is looking for is you believe in yourself. Excitement and enthusiasm is what we were able to provide to get this many like-minded people in this room. We're excited about this, and we hope that it will continue. Make eye contact with your audience. I was talking to someone the other day, and I thought I was saying something important. And they looked down at their phone, and they started doing something else. So apparently it wasn't very important. Make eye contact with your people. Smile. I think this is a common theme. Dress to impress. And there's a lot of avenues and a lot of ways you can buy inexpensive clothing and look sharp. And it's not just the dress, it's how it fits, it's how you wear it. You stand up tall, you believe in yourself that way. I like to go to networking events and watch it go around the room. And I love body language. The closer it gets to the person that's about to stand up and deliver their pitch or promotion, the jitters go. The tapping, the nervous twitches, the term choke, and I think that we hear this all too often on football. Coaches would call next game's timeouts if they could. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get into the player's mind. Choking, scientifically, is a lack of oxygen to the brain. So take some deep breaths before you're about to stand up and promote yourself. And practice. Practice, practice. And notice I put on there, don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. That's where success takes place. Some don'ts. Don't ramble. Don't say and. Don't keep going. I went to a networking event. We had 60 seconds. The guy talked about every car on his car lot nearly, and I could see the people in dismay all around me. Be respectful. Be concise. We talked about this. It's a pet peeve. Don't cross your arms. Stand up. When you say or it means that you're trying to figure out what you're going to say and what you want to promote. If you believe in your product, if you believe in what you're doing, you'll tell it like a story. This is a big one to me. There's 7 billion people on this planet. We don't all know who you are. Don't assume people know who you are and what you do. Tell people, deliver it each and every time. And each one of us have said this. This goes, remember, visualize, pictures, leave imprints in our brain. Marketing was vertical. Not every single person is your customer, and that's okay. The way you're judged if you gave a good pitch or not, the way you're judged if you did it right, is you hear these 3 magical words. Tell me more. Thank you. Okay guys, we're going to move quickly because we've ran over a little bit, but we want to embrace the Mastermind adage. And part of the Mastermind is collaborating, co-creating. Napoleon Hill was the one who said you can accomplish more in 1 year by being involved in the Mastermind group than you could a lifetime not being involved in the Mastermind group. So the principle here is, at your tables, you're going to give your pitch. And you're going to get feedback from the people at your table. I used this slide last time. When you're in the jar, you can't read the label. So you might be saying something you think is correct, but people may not actually get what you do. Understand when you're getting this feedback, and this is why each one of you will receive a survey. Probably not tomorrow, but the next day. We want to know how we can improve. We want to get better. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So we're going to set a clock up here to 60 seconds. And each one of you are going to have 60 seconds to deliver your pitch at the table. And then we're going to give 2 minutes for every person to say what they liked about your pitch and what they thought you could improve. If you have something to write with, write it down. Constructive criticism, feedback is the breakfast of champions, and do what you can to take some of the advice from other people. Lastly, we're going to do a pitch contest. You are going to select one person at your table to represent your table and to represent their company. They're going to come up here and give us their pitch. And we have some pretty amazing prizes for the person who wins. So everybody get ready. We're going to start. I don't want anybody taking too much time on where you're going to start. Let's get someone to step up quickly and go.
Real quick, just to clarify, when he said 2 minutes, not every person has 2 minutes to give their feedback. 2 minutes for the whole table.
I see arm.
But it's 60 seconds each.
Yes.
60 seconds each.
each. So somebody pick where to start and then just go clockwise.
We're going to clap at the end though, guys. In order to save time, we're going to clap.
Yeah, clap at the end to save time. We really need you listening, possibly taking notes for each individual. Let's give them our support. All right? All right, so here we go. Come on up. Roland is going to be our first one.
Good evening. My name is Roland Burr, and I am Mind Power Consulting. Think of me as the personal trainer for your brain. No one can be happier, more successful, or healthier than their unconscious frontal lobes. I help you to identify your goals in life and what you're not achieving, the roadblocks that exist to keep you from achieving those things, and develop a plan with a simple 30-minute, cost-free consultation. The process is very simple. Imagine those people that you know, those people who try to succeed no matter what. They just can't resolve things. I go in, I help them find success by removing the roadblocks in their life. For example, I was at a conference. A gentleman came up to me and spoke to me, and he started telling me about all the problems in his life. How his marriage was in trouble, his business was in trouble, because he couldn't finish anything he started. I listened to him for a few minutes. I said, you know, you can spend the next 20 minutes with you telling me what's wrong with your life, or I can spend the next 20 minutes fixing your life. What would you rather do? We sat down for 10 minutes the next morning when he saw me. He told me his life had already changed dramatically. Thank you.
Nice. Awesome.
And your timer's in front, and it's Georgina. Take it away.
Hi, good evening. My name is Georgina Aguilera. I'm the store manager of Mila Furniture Boutique, and it's a high-end furniture boutique who manufactures, who manufactures high-end furniture with marble, Italian leather, memory foam, and the small details that makes a difference in your house. We help decorate different houses. So far, we've been open for 5 months, so you can go online and check our Twitter, Instagram, and go check out our store. Thank you.
All right, again, guys, be listening, please. Brandon?
How's everybody doing? My name is Brandon. My company is Brandon Mancini Fitness. I founded it because I had this idea that the fitness industry is a shell game, but health and fitness is really simple, and that's what I wanted to bring to my customers. When I have a client, I try to do everything from an educational standpoint. If somebody's looking to lose 40 pounds, I don't want them coming back to me next year wanting to lose 40 pounds again. So when we talk about goals, I always ask them, well, what type of old person do you want to be? Because we're all going to get there. So let's kind of plan for that and reverse plan from there. My website, Brandon Mancini Fitness, or bmfcoaching.com is probably the easiest one to remember to get there. Thank you.
Joe?
Hello, my name is Joe Mendes. I'm the owner of Unifresh Incorporated. We deliver fresh fruits and vegetables to local commercial kitchens. So that would include restaurants, hospitals, caterers, schools, anybody that prepares fresh fruits and vegetables, not just to purchase it to resell, but actually prepare it for value-added purposes to make meals or sandwiches or whatever for people to eat. And been in the business for 30 years professionally, but my family's been in the business for more than 50 years. Now, produce is a very interesting product. It doesn't come off an assembly line. So having experience in produce has been very beneficial to me and to my customer base, which happens to be independently owned restaurants. I don't sell chain restaurants that have fixed menus. The owners of my restaurants can change their menus weekly or daily, and they rely on my knowledge to tell them what's the best products to have on hand, what's the best product to promote, what's in season, what fruits are in season, what vegetables are in season. I'm fortunate enough to have a warehouse in San Antonio Produce Market, so we have growers from around the area come to the market every day and promote their product. And they'll just come every day and say, would you like this zucchini squash, this yellow squash, this beans? We'll take it, I'll call my customers, and they'll take it. Sorry.
It's hard to get that good information out in a minute.
And a lot of it too is when you have a passion for what you do. It's like I know, trust me. I'm a talker.
Good evening. I'm Mark Wick. I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield Business Solutions and ID Shield. We have a suite of products that can work for individuals, families, employers, and employees, small businesses up to 100 employees. What Legal Shield does is empower you to know what you should or shouldn't before you do or don't, so you won't wish later you had or hadn't. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Clayson Lambert. I'm the owner and operator of the Sterling Templeton Group. We're a small marketing company with 8 associates scattered throughout the United States, including web designers, copywriters, and other professions. We currently are doing work in 22 out of the 50 states, and we specialize in going into small to medium-sized companies that are a little concerned about their marketing and are scared of the complexities of today's marketplace. We're very good about taking complex subjects or complex products and distilling a marketing message down that is clear and succinct and specifically targeted towards the market you're trying to penetrate. Because of the way that we're organized and we don't have any brick and mortar buildings, we're able to give you Wall Street value at Hill Country prices.
Don't clap, he's got 3 seconds.
So if you're one of those smaller firms that's struggling with your marketing, if you'd like some really good value and get professional quality help, no matter whether it's brochures, infomercials, websites, or whatever, I encourage you to contact us because at Sterling Templeton Group, we're going to do the best job you've ever seen and make your customers happy.
Good evening. I'm Mark Hernandez, owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics. I'm an energy medicine practitioner that helps people and their animals with health and well-being issues. For people, stress, pain, anxiety, and much more. For your pets, those unwelcome behaviors, peeing and pooing in the house, separation anxiety, and excessive barking. My work is non-invasive, safe, gentle, and often yields rapid results. Last week I was working with Eva, a woman in her 60s, excruciating right knee pain. She booked a session with me, we tuned in. The factors holding her issue in place were using toxins, common cleaner, and also a relationship that had gone bad, some emotional baggage. Cleared it, she was pain-free within 30 minutes. I'm Mark Hernandez, People and Pets Energetics. Change your energy, change your life. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Marshall. My company is Freedom After 40. In 2001, I was featured in Entrepreneur Business Startup magazine. In 2004, after receiving my executive MBA, I started my career as a financial advisor, and now I specialize in coaching entrepreneurial women to create a business that not just feeds their bank account, but also feeds their spirit and their soul. I do offer a complimentary 30-minute consultation, and you can find out more at freedomafter40.com. That's freedomafter40.com.
Hi, my name is Briggs Littleton. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I have no company. I've worked from the kitchen table for the last 40 years. There it is. It's going to be closer. I work as an independent broker. I represent national retailers and shopping center developers, Bar Shop Knowles, Weingarten Realty, Starbucks, Lowe's. I've been doing this since about 1978. I travel a lot in the South Texas area, San Antonio, South Texas, and I'm very independent. To do what I do, you have to go into a market, learn it like you've lived there your whole life, and then develop opinions about where to put Starbucks or Lowe's, write a strategic plan, and then present that, get it approved, tweak it, and then work it. We've been working the Starbucks plant in San Antonio since 2004. So every time you see a Starbucks in San Antonio, remember this face.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlo Chico, and I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I'm currently a junior student pursuing my CPA license and also wanted to be an accountant. My ultimate goal in life is to be able to work for an organization greater than myself, and like the Melinda and Gates Foundation, that they help in go around, to every single level of people, and I want to say that that's my ultimate goal. I also, when I was in South Korea, is a personal experience. I dedicated over 200 hours to help the people rebuild their businesses and their homes because of the floods. Everyone here, I just want to tell you, if you get anything from me now, is let's put our grains of salt, our little grain of salt, and let's make this world a better place.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Moon, and I help people build their dreams. Both in the natural, I work in the new home business, in the luxury building, all throughout the Hill Country. So I work with partners in building, and I also work with peak performance coaching. So I help people build the dream inside of them as well. And so we do that by clarifying what people really want, getting clear. It's one of the most important things you'll ever do. And then helping people to practically find what it is that they need to do to obtain their dream. Then I help people price their dream and figure out what does it really cost to actuate my dream. And then I help people take the bold step to move forward and achieve their dream. So if you'd like to build a luxury home, or if you'd like help building your personal or business dream, my name's John Moon. I'd love to tell you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Diaz. On a part-time basis, I do provide and distribute the wonderful coffee that we had this evening along with Narissa and Masi here. But one of my passions really has been developed over the last 2 years of a very niche market. It turns out that in the city of San Antonio, if you have a short-term housing need, your only options are hotels. And when I say short-term, I mean less than 6 months. I discovered this niche by accident, and I discovered that the niche market of short-term, fully furnished, all-inclusive market is really untapped for it. An ideal client for me would be someone who is looking for a short-term housing need. Perhaps you sold your house, and your new dream house hasn't quite been built at the same time. Or for example, someone is coming into the city of San Antonio and working for a couple of months. When I say short-term, I mean from as little as 1 week up to 6 months. It's a great niche market that I've developed over the last 2 years. My name is Dan Diaz. Thank you so much.
Can you all hear me? Hi, my name is Patrick Ogerly. I'm an attorney specializing in oil and gas. Actually, we specialize in representing landowners against oil companies. And whether or not, if you're doing a deal with an oil company or you have claims litigation against an oil companies are big, they have lots of attorneys, you need a law firm that has experience. We've been doing this for over 40 years representing landowners only. We get results. I absolutely love what I do. Just this year we've recovered over $70 million in underpaid royalties. So my firm is Person, Whitworth, Borchers and Morales, Person, Whitworth, Borchers and Morales.
Good evening, my name is Link, and I'm the owner of Iron Sharpens Iron Golf. It's inspired by Proverbs 27:17 in the Bible, and our goal is to bring people closer to God through the game of golf. We're going to do that by rolling out an entire line of golf accessories that all have Christian themes, and I've got my signature product here, the Cross Brush. It's designed to hang from your golf bag, cleans your golf clubs. For those of you that play golf, you know that having clean golf clubs is absolutely essential to playing good golf. By the way, you can purchase yours right now by going to Indiegogo.com. And we just want to show folks, as Mr. De La Garza said before, it's a constant reminder of God's blessings, and we want to show people God's blessings on the golf course and off. So thanks for coming.
Hi, my name is Christina Randall, and I am the proud owner of Education Solutions. We are the largest student loan forgiveness company in the state of Texas. We have helped hundreds of people save more than $15 million off of their student loan debt. Now, student loan forgiveness is not a consolidation. Consolidations is when you take all your student loans and you wrap it into one payment a month. What we do is we specialize in forgiveness programs that save people 70 to 90% off their student loans, in many cases never having to pay it back even in taxes. So my company again is Education Solutions, and my name is Christina Randall. And if you all happen to know anyone who might have student loan debt, which is about 1 out of every 3 families in this room, we're actually doing a special right now that we will give an entry into winning a free cruise trip that we're going to do on October 1st. So if you know someone, you refer them and they come in and just get a consult, find out if we can save them some money. You get an entry, and so do they. So please come to Education Solutions. Thank you.
My name is Colton Telford. I'm the CEO of Wise Guys Marketing. So I have a question for everybody. How many small business owners or entrepreneurs do we have in the room? That's a lot. Can any of you use more customers? How many of you have any idea how to go from the dark, not even being noticed on Google, onto the front page where your customers can see you? Anybody? Anybody confused? Lost on social marketing? Well, Wise Guys, that's what we specialize. So we bring you out of the dark and into the light. So in traditional brick and mortar businesses, you know that location, location, location is everything. Well, it's the same thing in this new exciting world of e-commerce. It's all about your digital commercial real estate, just like your commercial real estate there. So what we specialize in is bringing small businesses an incredibly powerful value through our marketing services and search engine optimization practices that's unprecedented and in unprecedented times. So the old adage goes that if you build it, they will come. That's not always the truth. So come talk to us and we'll help you get seen and help you get noticed in that digital commercial real estate. Thank you.
What tastes better than chocolate and liquor? I am Victoria Alarcon. I'm from Mexico and I'm new in town. Bringing a family-owned business, Alarcon Group Corporation. And we have 2 lines of products, liquor business and chocolate business. I'm looking for distributors of bakeries and restaurants in Texas and United States. And we have been doing this for 30 years. And it's a family-owned business. Thank you.
Fantastic, all great. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring each individual out, all right? And it's going to be by plug. So each person's going to come out one at a time. And again, we're going to go with the best, the loudest applause. So if you feel strongly about one, you got to support them. So come on up first, Roland. Georgina was after him. Brandon. Mark. Joe. Voice, doesn't he? Yeah. Mark? Cynthia? Here, our lady. Brent? Brent? And Juan Carlos? Mr. John Moon? Dan. Patrick. And Lee. We got it.
One thing I forgot to mention is that a minimum of 10% of all proceeds benefit faith-based charities, such as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and missions right here in the United States.
We already got it. Colton. It's Sudi. All right, so we're gonna get with our panel real quick, converse, and then decide on a winner. So the panel wants to come together.
Oh, sure, it's on outside. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hold on.
We were listening to the applause.
Here's the name. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I got stuff for you.
Yes. You guys stay here.
This meeting. All right, ready for the prize. This is, first and foremost, you get your positive pin. Yeah. Proudly, and I believe positive, love, second, you have yourself your San Antonio Mastermind t-shirt. Congratulations. You're thinking grow rich, of course. And last but not least, the men who built America. One of the DVDs and movies that inspired this event in this group are the great minds behind our great country. Congratulations. God bless you all. For each and every one of you that made a fantastic presentation, your pitch were all spectacular. Thank you all, and a big round of applause for each one of you guys. Thank you.
So we're actually running very late. We don't want to keep anybody here longer, but we have just a few real quick important announcements. You are going to be getting a survey. Please tell us what you liked and how we can improve on our next event. It's really valuable for us. And then, for those of you who have not been to one of the best, if not the best Italian restaurant in town, on August 11th, we're doing Mingle with Masterminds. It's an event where you can come and practice on the stuff that you learned today. Now, there's going to be an admission. It's going to be a $5 admission, but what it's going to get you for the first 100 people, it's going to get you a free drink and shrimp scusi, which is an unbelievable garlic butter, crunchy, crusted shrimp. And to talk about his restaurant, Mazi.
All right, and he's going to give you the address, guys. So if you want to go to this mixer, listen to the directions, the address.
Hi everyone. What a great event. Awesome. Please put your hands together for yourself, for Jeremy, the rest of the event. Well, as he mentioned, the next event is going to be hosted on August 11th. It's going to be at Susie Italian Grill on 1604 at Northwest Military. 1604 at Northwest Military. It's right in front of Academy on 1604 on the access road. What an event. Very inspired. And all the people that came and talked, the business-minded people that are talking about all the different businesses, all the different concepts, and all the pitches that they did. It's amazing. I'm owner of the Scusi Italian Grill, Studio Get Fit, and Nature Granite Cabinet. And seeing all these people doing great things and look how much they do to help each other and coming together is amazing. I'm very inspired. For that, this is what I'm going to do. For first 100 people that walk into Scusi's on August 11th, I'm going to give them $10 off for the next purchase from the Scusi's when they come and dine with us. They're going to send you an invitation through your email. Please check and RSVP based off the reservation that we're going to get, Jeremy is going to give me. That's the amount that, the certificate, I'm sorry. That's the certificate that is going to go to everybody else. So as soon as you get the emails, please respond to it. So I know how I'm gonna set all those with your first name and last name. When you come in, I can provide those in advance.
So $5 gets you a free drink, get to mingle with all of these other wonderful, beautiful, smart, passionate people.
And practice your pitch.
And practice your pitch. Delicious, scoozy shrimp, and $10 off, an extra $10. I mean, guys, come on. Where else are you gonna get that opportunity? Once again, a reminder, the book, Think and Grow Rich, we have here for sale, only $10. We take cash, we take credit.
And the positive pin.
And the positive pin. There's two mugs left. Anybody wants a mug? They're $10. And anything else we would like to close with, other than a huge thank you guys.
Thank you guys.